On today's Glory Days show, the Chicago Blackhawks have won the third Stanley Cup in 6 years, and some are calling them a dynasty. Pete Torgerson will join us to talk about it.
And one of the most respected organizations in all of sports is being accused of hacking into another team's computer network and then exposing their trade secrets to a website to embarrass their general manager.
And in our Did You Hear About segment, we'll have stories about a 15-year-old golfer playing in the U.S. Open, the Kansas City Royals fan stuffing the All-Star ballot box, and the Patriots barring the mother of Darrelle Revis when she showed up at a party to collect his Super Bowl ring.
The best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
EatRadio.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, June 20th, 2015, and you are watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Descalfani, and this is my good friend Bruce Oler. Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today, and you are joining us on the InRavio TV network, broadcasting live from Studio C in the great state of New York. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning to you, too.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Kyle is back after seeing the Stones last week.
And he looks pretty good, considering. So did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Amazing time. Yeah, well, they are the self-proclaimed greatest rock and roll band, right? Isn't
They
that
are.
the-
They are old, though, man. They are old guys, right?
You can't imagine 70-year-old guys on the stage doing what they do.
You know, Keith, Mick Jagger, he could jump around and stuff like that. You look at Keith Richards, he's a wonder to modern science. He really is, you know.
Or at least modern chemicals.
Yes.
You know what's funny, though? There was something on Palladia.
Yeah.
And it was the Stones back in, like, the middle 60s. And Keith Richards is not recognizable, you know?
He looked like probably George Harrison back then, too, or something. You know, well, I mean, in the mid-'60s, he said, they were the bad boys, but they don't look like they look now. I mean, you know, Keith Richards looks like a pirate, right? I mean, he really does.
I mean, you know, the Beatles were talking about peace and love, and the Stones were the complete opposite. They're such bad boys. I guess because the re-release of... They've been in the news because of the re-release of Sticky Fingers and stuff. Did they re-release the album?
They did, and there's it's a deluxe version with his alternate takes of some songs and things like that.
But did they release the actual album with the zipper?
I don't know if the vinyl came out. I mean, I imagine if they wanted to do that, they would. I mean, I remember having that album.
Did you have it? Do you still have it?
Yeah, I'm sure I do.
You should bring it in.
Yeah, okay. I'll do that. I'll do that for next week.
You should bring it in, and we could unzip the thing on the air.
Now, a couple of things...
Did we get in trouble for that? I don't know.
A couple of things happened last night. A-Rod hit his 3,000, got his 3,000th hit, and that wound up being a home run.
And I heard you were celebrating.
Well, I'll tell you, the post, though, in their inimitable style, okay?
Yes.
I didn't show this to you yet. The numbers...
I want you to know I look forward to this.
For 3,000, okay? For 3,000, they have hypodermic needles going through all of the threes, okay? Here we go, Mr. 3,000. See that? They are the best.
That's why we love the post.
They are the best. That's right. That's right. Supposedly, the guy that caught the ball is not interested in giving it to A-Rod.
Good for him.
He said, and supposedly this guy has caught like 3,000 balls, I think is what he said.
Oh, that's the guy?
I mean, not 3,000, maybe 800 balls. He's got
There's
little
this
balls.
guy whose like specialty in life happens to be catching home runs and foul balls.
Yeah. Yeah, and he said this one isn't anything special, I think is what he said or something. You know, this guy's being a real knucklehead, I think, too, you know?
And why not? If you can be a knucklehead.
And I guess the Justin Verlander was the pitcher who can't be happy about going in, going in the record books like that.
It was the first pitch.
Was it?
The first pitch he saw when he came to bat.
Yeah.
And he hit that home run. Derek Jeter hit his home run for his 3,000th
Right.
hit. And the only other major league player to ever hit a home run for their 3,000th hit was Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs.
But he didn't do it as a Yankee. He did it as a member of Tampa Bay.
I see. Wade Boggs had a pretty good career, man. You know,
Yeah.
with the Red Sox, the Yankees, and down there in Tampa.
And actually, there are only, I think there were only 4 or 5 players that have more than 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. Although I would think that if you had 500 home runs, you would have 3,000 hits.
You would think so. You would think so. You know, the other thing, the Mets, it was a brutal loss last night. You know, it's the second time in a week that Jacob deGrom pitches a great game, comes out with the lead in a low-scoring game, and the bullpen, the defense really didn't help him out, I guess, when he was still pitching in the 8th inning.
Well, you know, he
last night.
came out of that game, he had only thrown 97 pitches.
Yeah.
There was a guy on first and third. There was 1 out, and it was 2 real bonehead-type plays. I mean, obviously, he got himself into problem because he gave up a leadoff double.
Yeah.
The next guy went to bunt, okay, and the bunt came right back to him.
Right.
He was going to throw
and
the guy
Tejada
out
was
of
charging
third.
too, so there was no play at
Tejada was
third.
charging.
And it looked like there would have been a play at third.
Right, and then
our friend Wilmer Flores, who every time he gets the ball, he's like, I'm going to say Gino. Wasn't Gino Smith. Mark Sanchez. Didn't he always tap?
Yeah, he
before
always
threw?
tapped just before he
Yeah.
threw.
Yeah.
And so that cost him, and now there was first and third
Yeah.
with 1 out, and they bring in
Relief pitcher, and the
Gil
rest
Martin.
is
I think it was Gil Martin.
will live in infamy.
I'm
you know,
sorry.
have you been watching the games? You know, I remember, you know, growing up. Well, not growing up. I mean, when we watched games, I would always have the music on and not listen to the commentary. Now I never have the music on. I'm always listening to commentary. And the last few games, it's just been Ron Darling and Keith Hernandez.
I think,
I don't like that dynamic. I really don't. You know,
No,
I think they need Gary Cohen in there. I really do.
You
know?
need a regular play-by-play there because Ron Darling can't concentrate on what's going on. That's not the exact play.
So I mean, I know that's an experiment or whatever, but I don't.
No. I think Gary Cohen or whatever his name is was just on vacation.
Yeah.
Although I don't know why he would be on vacation.
You take vacation in the middle of the baseball season. I don't get that.
Don't understand that.
Yeah.
But I thought that I just don't think that was the right move there, and I was screaming and hollering at
You're
the
talking
TV.
about lifting
By
DeGrom.
taking
Yeah, I mean, and
DeGrom
Keith was
out.
saying that last
Just
night too.
let
He was
him
saying, you know,
finish
most of
the
the
inning.
time I really agree with what Terry Collins does, but last night he, you know,
This is the
it's a head scratcher.
This is the whole thing where we've got this great pitching.
Yeah.
And we're not allowing it to do what it needs to do because we don't have good relief pitching right now.
Well,
just
Familia
don't.
is, although you saw him kind of limp off at the end of the game there too, although they say it's not serious. I don't know. That looked pretty serious to me, so time will tell. They said that about Zach Wheeler too, didn't they? It's not serious. Next thing you know, he's got Tommy John surgery going on.
So anyway. All righty, we're just getting started here on the Glory Days show. Right after a short break, we'll talk about the recent scandal surrounding one of the sport's most respected franchises, the St. Louis Cardinals. Don't go anywhere. Pete Torgerson will join us later on to wrap up our extensive coverage of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. We're coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRavio TV network. When people discuss the most successful or popular sports franchises of all time, teams like the Yankees, the Cowboys, the Lakers, the Canadians, the Patriots, they're usually what's included. Some franchises are included for the amount of success they've had, and others for the amount of controversy that they're associated with. But one of the most successful and well-respected franchises in all of sports usually flies like under the radar. After the Yankees, they have the most World Series titles in Major League Baseball, and they're universally regarded as the place that players most really want to play. We're talking about the St. Louis Cardinals, that beacon of sunshine, that shining star that all the others look up to. Well, it looks like they've been rolling around the mud with the rest of us. You know. The FBI has been investigating the Cardinals for over a year and is accusing them of hacking into the private network of the Houston Astros and their Ground Central database, which houses updates
Ground control, by the way.
Ground control, what did I say?
Okay. You said Ground Central.
Ground Central. It's a good thing I'm reading it.
Yeah.
But it houses their updates on trade negotiations, statistics, and scouting reports. Most teams or individual players that are accused of cheating, they're attempting to get like this competitive edge. Right. So what possible advantage could the Cardinals expect to gain by looking into the scouting reports or trade reports, trade negotiations of the usually bad Houston Astros? The answer is simple. There is no advantage. That's not why they did it. It seems they had a different motive, and it's darker and more deviant than Tom Brady deflating those footballs.
All right. Last year, the blogging website Deadspin published a report revealing inside information about trading talks between the Mets and the Astros involving Daniel Murphy and Jonathan Villar. There's also a report that the Yankees were willing to eat $4.5 million of Ichiro Suzuki's $6.5 million salary to send to Houston. Both Sandy Olson and Brian Cashman insisted that the leaks did not come from their organizations. Having that type of private information leaked to the media could be potentially damaging to an organization's ability to make trades. If you ever owned a fantasy team, you know that if you're making a deal with one owner privately, you don't want the other owners getting involved, and you certainly don't want them knowing what you're negotiating about.
And I've done that. I've tried to make deals with people.
With Swan, probably, right?
Right. You know, you make a deal with, you're working on one deal with someone, and you're telling them, oh, I'll give you this, this, and this. You don't want another owner knowing that you're talking to that guy.
That's right.
Because then they're going to try and sneak in and say, hey, I know you're looking to trade this guy. I'll give you somebody better. Right?
Yep. So the FBI is investigating the Cardinals because the hackers breaking into the Astros system had to trace back to their organization. The question still remains, why?
Well, it seems that during his 8-year tenure as the Cardinals' VP of Player Development and Scouting, Jeff Lano was a very successful executive in the St. Louis organization. So successful that many others in the Cardinals organization thought he was taking too much credit for the team's success on the field. And when he left the Cardinals in 2011 to become the general manager, the Houston Astros organization was secretly celebrated. There was a trail of bad blood following Lano when he left for Houston. And what better way to get back at someone who left for a new job? Why, you try to embarrass him.
Of course.
Right? With the Astros finishing last place 3 years in a row under Lano, the breach of private information could have been the last straw and could have meant the end to Lano's career. But hacking into somebody's private network is a crime, and the perpetrators could not only get jail time, not just a slap on the wrist. And Major League Baseball may have to step in and hand down punishment. Commissioner Rob Manfred said, any allegation like this, no matter how serious it turns out, is of great concern to us. So you know what? This could be a big deal.
It could be.
And on our phone is a good friend of the show who was fanatical for the Houston Astros, his hometown team. And after finishing last for 3 consecutive years, his surprising Astros have the best record in the American League. Please welcome back to the program our good friend from the South, Trey Looney. Trey, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. How are y'all doing today?
All right, man. What's going on down there? What do you guys think of this whole thing?
Well, you know, I kind of go back and forth a little bit on this because, you know, there's some obvious serious nature of the information that was hacked, but then, you know, what did they really do with it besides, you know, go through, like you said, a little bit of defamation of character for Jeff there. And so, you know, ultimately what the Cardinals got is the worst hack job this decade. And, you know, besides the cheating reputation that's going to follow them, you know, similar to what it has with the Patriots, and also a bunch of excellent internet memes, but they're under an FBI investigation, and you know, that's the real serious part about
That's
this.
serious, for sure.
They're not gonna play when it comes to this, and the people involved, although the Cardinals organization is calling it some, you know, rogue nature in their organization, it's still going to come down on the organization. And you're right, Manfred has got a real challenge on his hands because he's going to have to do something that's fair and impartial when it comes to this, and also something that levies enough of a penalty to where other teams won't even think about doing this going forward.
Right.
So,
I mean, at this
tell you
point,
what I don't get.
There's no precedent for this.
There isn't. But here's what I don't get, okay? With Deflategate, it was investigated immediately. This story broke last year. I remember reading about this story, and it's almost a year. It was back in June last year, you know, where some of this stuff was revealed.
Right.
So why didn't baseball do something right then? It's got to be the federal government a year later doing something. I don't, you know, I just don't get how the league, you know, disciplines, you know, bad behavior. I really don't, you know.
I don't know. I believe that the FBI has been investigating the Cardinals for a year, so baseball knew that they.
Like I said, this story
trailing.
came out a year ago on his Deadspin or whatever it was. You know. So I don't. That part I just don't get. Why is it taking that long?
The thing about it is, Manfred is just getting out of the way to let the FBI do their job, and you know, if it became a non-issue, then of course it's his non-issue.
Yeah, but again, I mean, it surfaced last year. The commissioner at the time should have done something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on revenue, they always talk about that guy, and that's exactly, you know, he was not interested in the character of the league. You know, I mean, this is a serious allegation.
Well, you know, Trey, you said something which makes a lot of sense about the fact that even if it was some lower-level minion on the St. Louis Cardinals that nobody knew about or nobody cared about, it's not that much different than the Deflategate thing. And even here in New York, we've had a controversy that's been going on for a year or so with Chris Christie, the governor of New Jersey, and the closing of the George Washington Bridge.
One of the approaches, yeah.
And Christie has said from the beginning, I didn't know anything about it. It was these other guys. There's emails going back and forth. But it's still, it rolls up to the big guy. You know what I mean? And it's affecting
Buck
him.
stops here.
And I don't care what the St. Louis Cardinals says. Somebody in their organization did this.
I tell you, I'm interested in how they trace this thing back. I tell you, you know, these people that, you know, there's all these smart guys that are out there. They're always talking about, oh, I'll go through a proxy server and this and that. You know, they can always catch you, man.
Yeah.
They can always catch you. And I'm sure these guys were doing this with impunity because they really felt they couldn't get caught.
What, hey, Trey, in the local media over there, how is Lunau taking this whole thing?
Well, I read some stuff on Sports Illustrated, and I heard him on the radio here the other day. You know, he's taking a high road. You know, he's downplaying the negative relationship with the organization, with how he left and when he left. He's even cited that multiple people attended his wedding a year later. He's publicly saying the Cardinals are a great organization, and this is just a small element and not necessarily representative of the organization. And so, and I think Jim Crane has also echoed those remarks. They're completely taking the high road, and I really applaud them for that. But
well, you know what? I tell you what. I tell you what. We got a couple of minutes left here. Let's let you crow about how great the Astros are playing.
Yeah, 40-28.
Talk to me about this. What the hell's going on down there in Houston?
Well, and I would largely say it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors, because if you look at the batting average for our team, they're really not stroking the ball like they should, and so they're getting great starting pitching. The bullpen has been nailed, particularly the middle reliever guys. The hitting has been timely, and especially in the seventh inning on. So once they're able to crack the starting pitching and get to these other teams' bullpens, they're just owning them, and they're hitting the ball hard. And so it's I said it before in the when I was on before, that this is a crooked numbers team, and the exciting part about it is it's crooked numbers late.
Can they keep this up? Do you think? You've been watching them all year.
I have been watching them all year, and I think it is sustainable, particularly if you look at the fact that these guys aren't hitting up to what their average has been in the past or could be. Plus, with Correa coming up, I mean, he is a solid talent, and not only defensively, but he's hitting the ball. He steals bases. He's the first person, a rookie since Ricky Henderson, to steal 3 bases in a game.
What we're going through here with the Mets seem to be not so much treading water anymore. We seem to be taking on water.
Yeah.
And I'm a little concerned because we just can't hit the ball. We can't seem to win games on the road.
Well, we're
they're
terrible.
I think they're 10-23 on the road, and they're 23-11, something like that, at home. And you can't do that. You just can't.
Yeah.
You can't not win games on the road.
Yeah, it's interesting. Trey was talking about Carlos Correa. He was one of those guys mentioned in one of those leaked emails. That was between them and the Marlins for Giancarlo Stanton. What happened? Unbelievable having Giancarlo Stanton with Houston, huh? That'd be a whole different team there. But congratulations on a 40-28 start. I do remember talking to you at the beginning of the season. I remember you were cautiously optimistic about the team.
Right.
And it's playing out for you. That's great.
Well, yes, and the second time through these rotations, teams start to get a little bit of a book on them, and so they're going to have to grind a little bit more for wins as well. And that goes for the Mets.
Well, at 40-28, they got a little.
Well, you know what? Also, it is you don't have the Mets' problem is that they have the Washington Nationals and the Atlanta Braves in their division. And Washington is going to turn it around and is going to play much better.
Think about it. Beginning of the season, though, we said it was the teams we were worried about. It was the Nationals, obviously,
right.
But it wasn't the Braves.
No, we were not talking about the
Marlins.
Braves. Yeah, it was the Marlins, and the Marlins have been just barely. Thank goodness for the Phillies.
Yes, thank goodness for the Phillies, and I hope they trade us Cole Hamels at the deadline.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hey, you know what? We've got a couple of starting pitchers that we're looking to get rid of. Maybe we should tap into the database.
I'm not sure you want the FBI investigation there. So.
All righty, Trey. Thanks for taking the time and talking to us. Hey, we'll probably talk to you in about a month or so. We'll start talking about your football team there.
Well, I would love to, especially since they're going to be on Hard Knocks. I think it's going to be a lot of
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
It's going to be one of the most interesting Hard Knocks since the Jets.
So, hey, thank you all for having me on again, and y'all have a great show and have a great afternoon here.
All right, thanks,
Thanks.
Trey. That's our good pal from the South.
All
Trey
right.
Looney.
So let's take a break. When we get back, we'll wrap up our marathon 6 weeks coverage of the Race for the Lord Stanley's Cup as our hockey maven Pete Torgerson joins us on the hotline. You are watching Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Radio TV network. 6 weeks ago, when the NHL playoffs began, our next guest made a few bold predictions. Although he backed Tampa Bay all the way, it was the Chicago Blackhawks that hoisted the Stanley Cup on Monday. You can enjoy Barry Melrose on ESPN or Mike Milbury on NBC Sports. We here on Glory Days, we love our guy. Please welcome a third Beatle, Pete Torgerson. Pete, how'd you like that intro there, my friend?
How are we doing today?
Good,
All right, man.
good.
How are you?
Good. I'm going through withdrawals. I don't know what to do with myself at night. No hockey.
I know, all right. We've been so ensconced in it. You know, after the Islanders lost in the first round, I almost took the entire second round off because I was annoyed. I was mad. Every time I looked at a game, I kept saying that should be us. Or,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be great if they were still playing and the whole thing? But then when it got to the conference finals, I got back into it. And I watched most of the Stanley Cup Finals, especially, of course, the last game. I always watch the game where
when the cup comes out,
When
I
the
mean,
cup
it's
can come
pretty
out.
emotional. It was good to Chicago. I mean, the previous two times they won, They didn't win at home.
Well,
You know?
they said it was 77 years
Yeah.
since they won at home.
Yeah.
That's an amazing. I mean, Pete, what have they won? Six in their history, I think. The Blackhawks.
Yeah, they won the 3 recently. Then they won in like '63,
Right.
and then '38 was the last one that was at home. So there was one more in between that and the.
And I mean, again, that they're one of those original 6 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, who was winning the 60 Stanley Cups from 1930 to 1960?
Well, Montreal won a few of them, I'm
Maple
sure.
Leafs.
Probably Toronto did too.
Yeah, the Maple Leafs. What you have to remember back then is the drafts were territorial. So Toronto had like 100 miles around Toronto.
Okay.
Montreal had 200 miles around Montreal.
I see.
Boston had like into Oshawa and Kingston. The Rangers were up in Kitchener.
You see,
Red Wings,
like,
were out in Red Wings were out in Saskatchewan. That's how they got Gordie Howe. So it was territorial draft.
I see.
So
you see. As
if you
as
saw a
Johnny
kid who was
Carson,
12 years old, you had to get him into your area quick.
Johnny Carson would say, "I did not know that."
So
Is that
there's a
right?
couple of, there's a couple of feel-good stories
Stupid
here.
fact that'll get me nowhere, right?
A couple of feel-good stories here with the cup. Kimmo Timonen.
Yeah.
I finally pronounced his name right. He retires after winning the cup for the first time, right?
All right.
Yeah, he was done this year anyway. But
Yeah,
And he came from Philadelphia.
He was one of the guys we were talking about was never on the ice, really, right? I mean, it's what, because Pete, that was your thing, is you thought they were going to break down, that the defense wasn't going to be able to sustain what they were doing for the last few games. But when a cup is that close, I think these guys, that extra adrenaline kicks in, I think, you know?
Yeah, plus Duncan Keith is a freak.
Yeah, Duncan
My
Keith,
God,
he was the
could
Conn
go-
Smythe Trophy
he could go
winner.
right- He could go win Tour de France now that the hockey season's over. That guy,
Yep.
the amount of time he played, the amount of mistakes that he did not make. A guy that's that steady, he's going against Stamkos every shift, shutting him down. That guy's amazing. And the most underrated player is number 4 from Sweden. What's his name? Soderberg, whatever it is. Soderberg. No, what's his last name? But number 4.
Pete,
that
you're the
guy-
expert. We don't know.
We don't really
Yeah,
know
he's a-
anything. We depend on you.
We just shake our head a lot. Yeah, you're right.
He's another guy that didn't make a mistake. He would get the puck on his backhand and either make a tape-to-tape pass or high off the glass. He was an unsung hero on that defense,
Yeah.
too.
You know, you talked about
Johnny Oduya was playing with one hand.
Johnny
You know,
do you? I love that
You know,
name.
when we were watching the Bruins when they won the Stanley Cup that year, we were watching that together, and you said it was important because you always want to know who's the second guy after the trophy goes to the captain.
Yeah.
Who's the first guy to get it? And it was Timonen. He gave it to Timonen first.
Yeah, so that means he's a good guy, and the guys really respect him.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you
That-
know,
that's a
the
good
thing
thing.
about the Stanley Cup, though, I mean, is that the coolest trophy on earth, man?
It is,
I mean,
man.
you get your name on a thing. Nobody else gets a chance to do that, you know?
Yeah. And it almost didn't get there. It was stuck in traffic with the
Yeah.
flood.
Was it?
Yeah. I have you want to have some? I have a couple of Stanley Cup facts.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
before we get into that, one quick thing.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago did an unbelievable job winning this cup because I don't know what you guys picked, but I know I went with Nashville, I think, in the first round because they were having goaltending
Yeah, I
problems.
did too.
The backup goalie, Diamond, came up. Nashville was the hottest team in the league. Everything on ESPN, on the NHL channel. Nashville's the best team, the hottest team. They got this going for them. They got Peck in goal. They got this. They got that. And you know what? Chicago beat them.
They overcame it.
So that's a tough series.
You know, I
They-
thought
they-
once Chicago had beat Nashville, they then had to go up against your other pick, which was Minnesota.
right? Yeah.
And
Right.
they
And they're
swept
no slouch.
Minnesota. They
I
swept
thought
them.
the St. Louis Minnesota winner would either win the cup or be in the finals.
Yeah.
against
Right.
Tampa. That was my original pick, and
Yeah, I don't think I picked Chicago except that at the end when we knew who was, playing in the finals here and things
Once
like
they-
that.
they-
But I do remember about halfway through noticing, I said, you look at some of the overtime games they won. You
Right.
said this team has the heart of a champion.
That's right.
And they won it twice. They're going to do it again, and that's what they did.
right, and their leadership pays. You can't say enough about him. But you know who else I love as a player is the kid Saad, 20. Oh my God, he might be faster than Kreider.
Yeah.
He flies. And he's strong. He's got the. They have all the pieces. They have 4 lines. They all love the coach. They play for the coach. And then one of my all-time favorites, Kevin Dineen, was the assistant there.
Right.
Mr. Hartford Whaler himself. I used to love that guy as a player, and he came off. He coached the women's team to the gold medal in the Olympics, the Canadian women's team. So that was pretty cool. His father, his name was on the Stanley Cup. Now he is. And
You know,
here's
no
my
team.
Here's my last trivia piece for you. The
Okay.
38 team was coached. The 38 Blackhawks team was coached by Paul Stewart's grandfather.
Really? Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Hey, you know, this was the first finals since like the 50s.
Yeah.
Where the first 5 games were 1-goal games, every one of them.
I remember going into that
But
last
the-
game. It was 11-10, I think, was the goal scoring. You know,
But
they were all
the
low-scoring
weird thing,
games.
the weird thing about it is, up until Chicago took the 2-0 lead,
Yeah.
no team had a 2-goal lead in the entire series.
Yep.
Which I
That's
thought
how
that was
close it
kind of an interesting thing.
The
And
thing
Tampa
I always
Bay-
like talking about, you know, it's great to talk about the team. I like talking about the cup, okay? For the next 100 days, the Chicago Blackhawks have ownership of the
They
cup,
get
and
to
they're going to
keep it,
pass it
right?
around. It's been to Wrigley Field already. It's been to a bar. You know, I was reading a little bit up on where it's been over the years. When the Stars, Dallas Stars, when they won the cup, okay, that year the Stars had commissioned the band Pantera to write a song for them.
Oh, really?
Okay? And when they won the cup, the drummer in Pantera hosted a party where the Stars showed up with the cup, and the cup wound up in the pool. Okay, it's not the first time it's wound up in a pool or in water. It's, you know, it's not the first time. It's not gonna be the last time or whatever. You know, but there was some good.
each player gets it for 24 hours.
Is that what it is?
They get it for
Yeah,
24
it's pretty
hours.
cool.
Yeah. And did you know
That's
that there are
everybody. That's the
actually
trainers
2
and
trophies?
everything.
What's that, Pete?
That's the trainers and everybody. Yeah, the
It-
trainers get it a day. All
That's
the
right.
Yeah.
staff people,
Every
the sort of
staff
group.
member on the team.
It's the oldest trophy in sports, 123 years old now.
Yeah.
It's the heaviest trophy. It's 35 pounds. And it's the tallest trophy. It's 36 inches.
And they
There
take
are
it, they-
over 3,000 names on it. 58% of them appear only once. You know?
Okay.
So that means 42% of them have been on it more
Multiple
than once.
times.
And there are 14 names that are actually misspelled.
Okay.
They even went back and corrected 3 of them.
I think the Islanders was spelled wrong once.
The
right?
team name Islanders was
Yeah.
spelled wrong, and I don't think they ever corrected that. And actually, Pete, I do have the list here. Montreal won it 24 times, Toronto 13, and Detroit 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there,
But
that's
the Bruins weren't winning it.
right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's almost 50 of those 60 years from
Right.
the 30s to the 60s. You know.
The Rangers won it once.
Okay, guess who is the guy whose name is on the Stanley Cup the most?
As a player, Andre Richard.
Henri Richard.
The
That's
Rocket
exactly right.
Man, Rocket Richard.
11 times.
All right.
Oh, wait. Did I just Google that, or did that come off the top of my head? Come on.
I think you are the Google master.
Pete, you're the Maven. We introduce you as the Maven. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Hey, Pete, you know, really, we really appreciate you doing this every Saturday
Yep.
for us. And
Hey, I think we should take Enravio on the road. There's a Pro-Am League down the street from me in Foxborough, same town where the Patriots play. There's a rink there, and all the pros come and play in the
Really?
Wednesday night league. Yeah,
And maybe we can go
and,
visit Felix Hernandez when we're there, right? Is it Hernandez?
Aaron
Hernandez.
Hernandez, yeah.
Not Felix Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez.
No, he got shipped out. He's out at the Max.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is he?
you know what? I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Do you get to
know,
play with them?
I can go over. No, you know what it is? It's the pro players, and then it's like the kids that are 18 draft year, going to college.
Well, if you could
So
get us in the door, I'd love to go.
Oh, it's open to the public.
Oh, cool.
The first week there were 3 people there. Last week it was sold out because Bergeron, Paillet, Boyle from Tampa. Who else?
The list goes on.
Kreider.
Kreider.
All the local kids. But and another note, I got asked last night to referee the Boston College BU alumni game. So it's going to be Leach and all the players, Kreider, guys from BC.
Wow.
And BU, which will be, it's a fundraiser for.
And when that-
yeah,
when
Pete,
is
you
that?
got to post some pictures, man, some selfies, you know?
that's coming up in July. So
That's
that'll
excellent.
Be pretty cool.
All righty, man, we're out of time. We got to run.
Good
All
talking
right,
to you,
boys.
Pete.
Baseball season got canceled up here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, our
Well, we'll
baseball
talk to you when
season-
football season rolls around, okay? All right.
All right, guys.
Take care, Pete.
Hey, Pete,
Great
thank you.
job.
That is the best of them all.
Yep.
Pete Torgerson.
Okay. Let's take another short break here on the Glory Day Show. When we get back, we'll bring you a few stories in our Did You Hear About segment. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco, only on the InRadio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRadio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRadio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRadio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRadio TV network. If you are a sports fan, you know you can always turn to ESPN or SNY to get the latest score and highlights. But one thing we pride ourselves on here at the Glory Days is providing you with information you may not have heard anywhere else.
Useless information.
Completely useless. But we call this segment completely useless information.
Here we go. No.
No. Did you hear about? Maybe we should call it completely useless information. Because it is completely
That's not that
useless.
catchy. Okay.
I don't know, we don't have as good music for completely useless information. Cole Hammer is just 15 years old, but he's playing in the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay this weekend. He shot a 64 and a 68 at a Texas sectional qualifier, and he is the third youngest player to ever play in the Open. At practice this week, he got to hit chip shots next to Tiger Woods and was next to Rory McIlroy on the practice tee. Over the weekend, he played 9 holes with Masters champion Jordan Spieth and 18 with 2 of the other pros. Can you imagine 15 years old?
I can't.
So far, he said, so far it's been a lot of fun with some of the guys you look up to. But yeah, it was really cool to hit balls next to the #1 player in the world. He hits it so far, it's crazy. I never thought I'd be able to do that, but it was really cool. I mean, could you imagine?
Awestruck.
Right.
Awestruck.
Spieth, who won the Masters earlier this year, said Hammer never stopped smiling during their round. And when asked if he had any advice for Hammer, McIlroy said he would just tell him to enjoy it and try to get as much of it out of it as he can. Hammer first started playing at the age of 2 with plastic clubs, but both his mother and father are multiple club champions at the River Oaks Country Club. So he's got cash.
I see.
Cole will have his dad on the bag for him this weekend, and he says, it means the world to me, especially on Father's Day. I think it's going to be a cool experience to be able to share this together. And that means he expects to still be playing on Sunday. So, of course, I looked it up.
Yeah.
What do you think he shot?
90. I don't know.
Not far off.
Okay.
He's 21 over.
Is he? Did he make the cut?
He did not make
He
the cut.
did not make the cut.
You know who also didn't make the cut?
Well, Tiger Woods was in pretty dangerous shape, I
Tiger
think.
Woods was 16 over.
Yeah.
So he was only 5 shots worse than Tiger Woods.
I mean, the story about this tournament, though, is I think the golf course itself. It's gotten a lot of bad press from a lot of the players and things like that. You know, but I wonder. I guess it's not Hammer time. I guess is all I can say.
Well, that was. I mean, could you imagine what a great name that would have
Exactly
been for
right.
like the people to put up?
It's Hammer time. All I can think of is what's his name, Ronnie Dangerfield in Caddy. Is it Caddyshack? You
Yeah,
know?
Caddyshack, yeah.
So let's dance. You know?
Well, unfortunately, there's no way he could get hammered at 15 years old.
No, that's right. You know, the best thing I was having a beer with Tiger Woods, man, out in the woods. You know.
Him and Tiger could do that.
That's
now.
right. That's right. All right. Story number 2. 8 players from the Kansas City Royals are currently leading the All-Star voting for the American League that is scheduled for July 14th in Cincinnati. And remember, the leading vote getter each position will start in the game. Right now, 8 Royals will start in the game. Catcher Salvador Perez, first baseman Eric Hosmer, shortstop Alcides Escobar, third baseman Mike Moustakas, and designated hitter Kendrys Morales.
I'm glad you had to read this.
I tell you, man, I should have read this beforehand. In the outfield, Kansas City outfielder Lorenzo Cain leads all outfielder voting with teammate Alex Gordon. That's a pretty easy one to say. Third base, third behind the non-Royal Angels, Mike Trout. This week, second baseman Omar Infante passed Houston's Jose Altuve to make it 8 out of 9 for Kansas City. Infante, who trailed Altuve by over 1,500 votes just last week, now leads him by over 300,000 votes. For the first time ever, the All-Star Game voting is being conducted completely online on the Major League Baseball website. There are no paper ballots. You're allowed to vote up to 35 times. The record for most starters by one team in an All-Star Game was the Yankees with 6 in the 1939 game. In 1957, the fans elected 7 Reds to start the All-Star Game, but then Commissioner Ford Frick added Willie Mays and Hank Aaron as replacements in the outfield. Major League Baseball said at the time that half the ballots collected were from Cincinnati. You can continue to vote through July 2nd.
Could you imagine Willie Mays and Hank Aaron not being elected as starters?
That is amazing.
Well, I guess, first of all, why would they allow them to vote 35 times? Each person can vote 35
and how?
times.
I mean, as soon as you let somebody vote more than once, I don't know how you're authenticating anything. To tell you the truth, Well,
I don't know how you prevent them from voting 36 times.
Mm-hmm. We should ask the St. Louis Cardinals if they were able to hack into the All-Star ballot.
Yeah, how come there's not more St. Louis Cardinals on? All righty, and our last story. Is anything ever easy between the Jets and the Patriots? Spygate, player tampering, Rex Ryan refusing to kiss Belichick's rings. The list goes on and on. But this is a new low, even for the Patriots. Okay? Owner Robert Kraft invited all of the players from the Super Bowl champions to his house this past weekend for a gala event that included the presentation of their championship rings.
I see.
All players were welcome, including those that are no longer on the Patriots roster, like the Jets' Darrelle Revis and Stephen Ridley. But due to a prior commitment, Rivas was unable to make the event. So in his place, he sent his mother, Diane Askew. But when Askew arrived in Boston on Sunday, she was told that the invitation was not transferable and that she was denied entry to the party. But being the wonderful organization that they are, the Patriots told her that she'd come back to the
stick
Patriots
around.
office on Monday and collect the ring. In a statement, the Patriots said that they wanted to keep the party to players only and a +1. So Askew would have been admitted if she had accompanied Reyes, but not without him.
I see.
I guess it didn't have anything to do with Rivas, with a comment Rivas made about Deflategate. When asked by a reporter what he thought about the reports, Rivas said, "They have a history of doing stuff. You can't hide that. Tom was there when they did that in the past." So why would you do that to Darrell Rivas' mother?
Yeah, I mean, it's dumb, okay? But at the same time, you know, I think all he had to do is call and ask beforehand. You know what I mean? And this whole situation could have been avoided, you know? I don't think that it's really that they have a thing for Rivas. I really don't.
But
you
how
know?
ridiculous could it be that you wouldn't let his mother?
Well, I agree. I mean, it was poor judgment, okay?
But I can understand if he sent a representative from the Jets.
Yeah.
Or a reporter or a person, you know, this
or
is
somebody
my
from the St. Louis
cousin
Cardinals,
or
even, okay? You know?
I understand it's I was wondering if, like, maybe it was a players-only event because people like Tom Brady had lampshades on their heads.
Yeah, well.
You see, that's where we should have asked Pete Torgerson about that.
Yeah.
Not letting Darrell Rivas.
It must be some house he's got. I'm sure it is. I mean, you know.
It's not. They're not my 100 by 60 property.
No, exactly
that
right.
I think his bathroom is 100 by 60. All right. We are almost out of time here at the Glory Day Show. We're going to take a break, then we'll wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Day Show at Bruce Disco, only on the radio TV network. I guess we're coming back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce Disco here on the InRavio TV network. So, what have we learned today?
Well, the Stanley Cup winds up in a lot of interesting places, I think.
Yes.
You know, and I hope there's a story or two that the Chicago Blackhawks will be able to tell. You know,
I'm sure that'll come out
Yeah.
in a little while.
I was reading something that they said that the local Korean Times paper, okay, the headline in the sports section was Chicago Bears clinch Stanley Cup, you know. So the guy seems to be I guess he just doesn't know his teams, his local teams.
Well, they're in Korea, so what do you expect from them?
What did you learn today, my friend?
Well, I learned that if you're a 15-year-old golfer, you probably shouldn't be playing in the U.S. Open. Mm-hmm. But, you know, if you're almost as good as Tiger Woods, I like the idea of getting hammered with Tiger Woods in the woods.
Yeah.
Right? Hammer and Woods.
That's
Come
right.
on, it's a headline writer's dream. Getting hammered in the woods
With Tiger Woods.
with Tiger and Cole. I also learned that the St. Louis Cardinals organization, you should really hire more nerds. Hire geeks. If you're going to do something like this, hire these. I mean, could you imagine how much they must have hated this man to try and destroy his career for them?
Yeah.
You know, just like, you know, here we go, we're going to get this guy really good now. I don't know, it's just a tough one, you know. And you had that little thing about The Simpsons.
Yes, in 1999 there was a Simpsons, episode where Mark McGuire is talking to Bart Simpson, and he says to him, "We are spying on you pretty much around the clock," is what he said.
So even back then,
Everybody
well, you
knew.
know what? I always thought that there's got to be a reason why these teams that are good stay good all the time. I've always thought they have to do so.
So you think there's a lot of espionage going on there, huh?
I think so. Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, I just think that in this day of hacking and stuff like that, that it's just easier now for to get through it. But now you can get caught.
But yeah, that's one thing. And the other thing, though, is, why can't somebody use that as an advantage to basically let somebody hack into something or leak something themselves? That's misinformation.
Well, that's the other thing. You know, these websites, they take everything. There's no fact checking.
I'm thinking about the Mets. I mean, they have this plethora of pitching, but nobody wants to make a deal with them, because, and I don't think it's because anybody hacked into them. It's like, you know what? These guys need to move these guys, and we're not going to, offer them anything good for these players.
They're waiting for the
they
Mets
want to move.
to get desperate.
Yeah.
And I hope Sandy Olson doesn't get desperate. I mean, look at the three guys they threw out this weekend. They're throwing out this weekend. DeGrom, Syndergaard, and Harvey.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the Mets could just hit the ball? You're looking at your thing and saying, "Oh my God!"
Well, you're looking, like I say, they're looking at bringing up Mats, and again, they got Zach Wheeler, who's on the DL this year. So I mean, future looks bright for them, for sure.
And don't ever send your mom to a party at New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft's house.
Like I say again, I think that it's too bad that it wound up that way, but I really think that they should have he should have made a phone call just to make sure everything was cool.
Anyway.
We cool?
We cool?
Okay, man. I think we're cool. Okay,
Well, we're cool.
All right.
We're so hip. Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work and making us look so good out here all the time. Mm-hmm. And thanks to our guest today, Pete Torgerson, who did a tremendous job with the Stanley Cup playoffs, and our pal from Houston, the always entertaining Trey Looney, for helping us out. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense week after week. And, of course, thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory Days On Demand page on www.enravio.com. And you can watch any of our past shows or any of the other great shows on the Enravio TV network. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe for all you fathers out there. Have a happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Same to you, my friend.
All righty. We'll stay safe, everybody. We will see you next week or next time. Next week. Could be next week.
Enravio.com.